Are we back? Let's try this out, folks. Sorry about that. Just want to see, test it out, see if you guys are still here. Looking to see if the stream is still up. Friends. Bueller. Everyone here? Are we back? Trying to see if things are working again. I do apologize about that, but we do have some battles on the grid. On the field, I should say, on the track. Hunter Davis chasing down the likes of Andre Alex Afonso. All the audio coming through okay. Looks like it probably is. Okay. Well, we are back, I believe, and hope that we do not get disconnected again as the American Hunter Davis in the Mustang Formula GT chasing down Andre Alex Afonso on the Nissan 666 car just up ahead. We've always had really good racing with Afonso, super fair, really fun. So I expect to see some really good driving and racing between these two. Quite a few battles up on track. Andre Lloyd now chasing down Anthony Kelly of F&M. Both in very different machinery between Andre Lloyd and Anthony Kelly. Between the two, Lamborghini and the McLaren. Jill Silvery now having caught up for the incident at the start of the race to the back of the grid here. We're seeing these guys go up into the top of the hill of Leo Cup, now swinging all the way down through the field, through Mineshaft into the Crocodiles. And looks like Anthony Kelly has built a bit of a gap, potentially a mistake from Lloyd, and allowing Silverin to catch up now. Another battle brewing here between Quinn Smith and Chandler Williams. Quinn looking very threatening in that Trackalicious Aston Martin, just behind the Please Break It Team 1 Mustang of Chandler Williams. Now Chandler, quite a talented driver. It's going to take a lot for Quinn to find the advantage that he's looking for to get ahead of Chandler Williams, but is he doing a good job? Boy, that is incredible. Super tight behind Chandler Williams. Chandler, I'm sure, under a lot of pressure, which is exactly where Quinn wants him to be. Coming through Sunset. And then going up the hill through Clubhouse, turn 7, down through the S's of 8 and 9. Incredible complex of turns, very tricky to get absolutely perfect. Over the crest here into Leo Cup and down. Ooh, wiggle there for Quinn Smith. Not ideal. Unfortunately for Chandler Williams, he does have the draft of Portis up ahead. Portis still up into P4. Again, getting himself into high enough spots, trying to avoid any of the mid-grid shenanigans that tend to happen on racing fields. Quinn Smith still applying a lot of pressure, and actually looks like Chandler Williams doing a good job of catching up to Portis up ahead. Portis not having much of a draft of Fermato with 4-second gap between the two of them. So these three starting to become a bit of a pack as Chandler Williams continues to try to chase down the likes of Kenneth Portis in that Honda. I had to re-look and see whether we're a Honda or an Acura, because I believe in iRacing it's titled as an Acura. For those that know, it's the same car with a different badge, but based on an international audience or an American audience. Ooh, Williams going quite wide there, allowing Quinn to close up the gap even more. Only 2/10 between them. 4/10, I think. 2/10, 4/10. Quinn Smith down on his lap, obviously being impeded a little bit by Chandler Williams. So he does have the pace in hand, but continuing to look for an opportunity. It's not the easiest thing to do, overtaking. Quite challenging, quite technical. Chandler Williams now falling behind to the likes of Kenneth Porter. Quinn Smith and Chandler are fighting continuously. Gives Portis an opportunity to breathe a little bit and optimize his lines to try and walk away from the battle behind. But once that battle breaks, once the victor goes away, then I'm sure they're going to be looking at the likes of Kenneth Portis up ahead with over an hour left in the race. Quinn Smith looking incredibly threatening still. But Williams is going to do everything that he possibly can to gap. Is it enough? We will find out. What it looks like from the view of Quinn Smith. Huge fan of going into this view, making sure that we really understand what it means to challenge. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
Green light, go, go, go.
I'm personally very tolerant of issues, well, of them happening to me, not necessarily happening to others, because I really dislike it when it's happening to you guys. But I think we're at a point where if it happens one or two more times, we might have to call the stream, unfortunately. Especially when we're having such an incredible battle between Quinn Smith and Chandler Williams. Quinn, gosh, almost side by side, really looking to take an opportunity here, but or find an opportunity. Having the draft yet again is gonna threaten on the inside, but decides the better of it. Both on Sunset now. Quinn trying to force Chandler into an error. Chandler maintaining focus. The battle between the two having given Wilson Fernandez now the opportunity to catch up. Wilson now just behind Quinn Smith. So unfortunately for Quinn, whereas he was able to focus ahead, now has to have eyes on the front of his head and on the back of his head. But that's what these aliens do. Maybe that's why they call them aliens, is their ability to focus all around them and still provide some incredible racing. Quinn so close. Is this going to be the opportunity that he's been looking for? Does he have enough of a draft? But that straight line speed of the Mustang is just simply too much. Into the crocodiles. Chandler again trying to maximize as much as possible. Into the deadly cheetah corner. Everybody seems to make it through just fine. And back on to the straight here at Kyalami. Chandler Williams looking for every inkling of power that Mustang has to try and stay ahead of the threat of Quinn Smith. And Quinn Smith now having to worry about Wilson Fernandez behind in this battle, not only holding themselves up against Kent Portis, who was less than a second ahead just a couple minutes ago, a couple of laps ago, I should say, is now 2.5 ahead and is really reeling in Jakob Stafko, who is now so close to Fernandez. Chandler doing a fantastic job defending, but like we said and have said many a time in the past, it is one thing to be able to put on fast, hot laps at any track. It is a completely different thing to be able to overtake, and you require quite a bit of skill, quite a bit of knowledge, quite a bit of experience to really make something like that happen. As again, we round Leo Cup down the hill here at Kyalami. A fantastic view for those who haven't driven the track before. Really, really love Kyalami in the sunset. Kind of gives me feelings of the panorama sunset. Again, super beautiful. One of the things that is absolutely phenomenal about the sim is its graphics and ability to represent the loveliness of nature sometimes. And racing in the sunset is quite poetic, in my opinion, as Quinn Smith continues to threaten and try to find any little bit of opportunity between himself and Chandler Williams up ahead. Really the closest battle on track for the time being. We do have a couple of packs just behind, as we have Freeman, Afonso, and Davis here, but not quite in the same level of threat as Quinn Smith and Chandler Williams. With that being said, looks like Davis has managed to get a pretty decent exit to close down the gap to Afonso, and Afonso reeling in Alex Freeman just up ahead as well. So very similar situation. Not quite there yet for Quinn Smith, but these three farther down the grid. Davis in the Mustang, Afonso up ahead in the Nissan, and Freeman in the McLaren. All three, again, looking for any possible opportunity to make a move. I don't know, folks. What do you guys want me to do? I can continue resetting this. I don't mind, but I suspect that it's quite frustrating to watch on your end, and I do apologize.
Green light, go, go, go.
So frustrating. We have such incredible battles going on here, and we're just gonna get bothered by technology. It giveth and it taketh away. Quinn Smith using every possible inch of the track and then some, kicking up some dirt there at Clubhouse. Tried everything, and now Stafko in the equation. So we have an incredible little group here. Chandler Williams, Quinn Smith, Wilson Fernandez, Jakob Stafko, all in different machinery, trying to find the slightest bit of advantage to gain that P5 that's held by Chandler Williams. It's still so early in the race as well, with only 25 minutes out of the 80-minute race through. Less than ideal line by Chandler Williams, really pulling in Quinn Smith. as they go through T1. The kink, Quinn threatening on the inside, but again, just too far back to make anything happen. So close. As Quinn manages a pretty good exit out of barbecue. Are they side by side? Not quite. Williams defending for a second. Now Smith on the inside, side by side with Williams, sends it on the outside. Williams, a bit of a push, shoulder to shoulder, nothing to write home about there, but that is an opportunity for Wilson Fernandez to put his nose in, and Quinn, unfortunately, getting out. Oh no! IB Schofield Racing, thank you so much for the raid. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a much better stream than what we're having here today. Unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties. And while the racing is incredible on track, this situation where we keep getting disconnected is really unfortunate.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Let me watch the race, computer. How's it going, Schofield? How was your stream? Did you have any technical difficulties? What have you been streaming? What have you been doing? How is the crew doing? What happened here? Looks like Williams stays up ahead. Stofko, the big winner of the battle there. Quinn Smith still ahead of Wilson Fernandez, but by golly, that was exciting to watch until we got kicked out of the server there. Thank you, Schofield. Are you an ACC person as well, or what were you driving? So we have a battle brewing up here between Freeman and Afonso. Oh, awesome, very cool. Well, let's do this real quick, as I am now not having my butt kicked by the technical difficulties for at least 30 seconds. Give you a follow. Be sure to check you out. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the raid again. Appreciate your support. Oh, Doc, thank you so much. Thank you, Doc Milwee. Thanks, Whelp Cakes. Both of you legends. Really appreciate your support through the years. Tier 1 sub for the month. It's almost a whole year. As Andre Alex Afonso continuing to try and pressure Alex Freeman here. Again, I love the battles of different machinery here. Nissan versus McLaren, Ford versus... Have a good one. Have a good night. And thanks again for the support. Appreciate the raid. I'm sure we'll catch you sometime. Stofko in the Ferrari now. Looking pretty, considering Williams using up so much tire to defend against Quinn Smith earlier. Stofko probably in a decent condition with his tires. 50 minutes left to go in the race. Half of the race being 40 minutes, so they're going to be thinking about whether they want to take the penalty of changing tires or not. A full 30 seconds. Kailami pretty demanding with a lot of high-speed corners. Would be chewing up a good chunk of tire. Chandler Williams having quite a bit of threat through the race. Constant pressure, but there's one person who has had none of that in P1 position. A dominant P1 at that. Renato Dornelles. Comfortable 12-second lead so far. Fastest lap of the race, followed by Thiago Dinarte, countryman, Brazilian, also in a reasonably comfortable position, but his teammate, Chandler Williams, not so much so. Constant threat, constant attack, constant pressure from behind, and even more so now from different drivers. Stofko now right on his, I would say tailpipes, but his tailpipes are on the side. Right on his diffuser there. Applying loads of pressure to Williams. There we go, move done. As we're trying to address our network issues, I do want to go back and have a look at that. What happens? Looks like Williams. Stofko looking on the inside here. Williams goes a bit narrow. Believe that's the S's. Up through Leo Cup. Stofko getting a great run up the hill. Looks on the inside. Nails the braking point, manages to stick it, and that is a position for Jakob Stofko. And looks like Chandler Williams was looking at trying to get that position back, but just wasn't quite enough. Now look who is back at the attack. Stofko going incredibly defensive, trying to discourage Williams from doing anything. Oh, but don't you worry, Jakob. Oh my goodness, quick to react. Might have been slow on the exit for Williams. Williams looking on the inside of Stofko. Quinn Smith looking behind Williams. These three all trying to get up into that P5 position. Maintain for Stofko. Get back up for Williams and get for Quinn Smith. Incredible battle between these three. Williams a bit wide. Under a lot of pressure from Quinn Smith. Quinn just trying to find the absolute optimal line between himself and Williams. Williams a bit fortunate in that he has the Ferrari to pull him forward of Jakob Stofko. And not only is Quinn Smith back, but so is Wilson Fernandez. And if that wasn't enough, Galbinski just in the background there trying to catch up to this pack again. What an incredible bit of racing between this group of drivers, all fashioning different cars, different brands. Stofko coming out on top for the time being, but we're only not even halfway through the race. We'll have to see what their strategies are, how they play out. Stofko a bit wide. Williams looking on the inside. That's going to turn into the outside of turn 3 here. As they go into barbecue, decides better, tucks in behind, and now under severe threat from Quinn Smith. Again, I think Quinn's just lacking that straight line speed that he really needs to get that position from Williams. The power grunt of that Ford getting the better of Quinn Smith and the Aston Martin. Incredible battle still continuing between these three. Williams doing everything he possibly can to make that Mustang wider than it is. Than it already is, I should say. Quinn looking left, Quinn looking right. Still nothing. Again, a look on the inside, but not enough. Quinn hoping for the opportunity. Maybe a mistake from Stofko, causing a yo-yo effect between the three. If Stavko breaks a little bit earlier, maybe Williams breaks a little earlier and hands a position, but not quite yet. All four of these drivers of incredible skill between Stavko, Williams, Smith, and Fernandez. And again, Galbinski just behind, looking for an opportunity, looking for this battle to continue so that he could close a gap. This battle has been such a joy to watch, such incredible timing, patience, calculation between all four of these drivers, some ending up winners for the time being, some ending up losers. Quinn Smith, unfortunately, pulling the shorter stick. Not as short as Fernandez, but continuing to apply immense amounts of pressure to the car ahead. Seems to have the pace in hand, but not quite the ability to overtake, as Williams has made that Mustang incredibly wide. Looking on the inside, no, deciding the better of it as they go into Leo Cup again. The exit of Leo Cup, incredibly important, as it is a huge long straight down through mine shaft, full throttle all the way through into the crocodiles. Super technical corner, really difficult to maximize and optimize with risk of track cuts on the exit. Further into Cheetah and into Ingwe, the final corner of the track. Yet again, a super critical corner for exit speed, as these drivers have to carry that exit speed all the way through the front straight, through turn one, which apparently that is the kink, and down into the braking zone of turn two here. Still the closest battle on the grid. Really want to go in and check out the views from Quinn. Again, constantly just trying to give Chandler something to think about. A little move on the inside, a little move on the outside, distracting Chandler. Hopefully getting Williams to maybe have a look in his mirrors, maybe miss a braking point by even if it's an inch or two. Get the opportunity to overtake, and then maybe release the Aston Martin. Now, if I'm Quinn Smith, honestly, I'm personally thinking of the undercut. I'm thinking jump into the pits. It's about time. Do the alt strategy to Williams. And then see if you could get a fantastic outlap. It looks like Stavko goes really wide. I would guess that that's a cut for him. But no, Smith deciding the better of it. Keeps on track, keeps on the battle. Both going really wide. Smith getting a good run here, right in the draft of Williams, but that Mustang's so fast. Williams going massively defensive. Oh, Smith looking out, looking in. Looks on the inside. Not quite enough. Immense amounts of pressure. And this battle continuing. Again, want to have a look at that from the outside, as we did see it on the inside. Williams going incredibly defensive all the way to the left end of the track. They zig, they zag. Both make it through the corner. Quinn having to stay tight, still going side by side, but Quinn eventually having to duck behind Williams. And this battle continuing. Now, who does decide to pit? Looks like we do have a pit from Wilson Fernandez, which I think is an incredibly smart move, considering Wilson Fernandez now gaining all of that advantage as these two continue to battle. That's going to be time gained effectively for Wilson Fernandez that he is nowhere near. So unless Wilson Fernandez has lap traffic to deal with, which he might, doesn't quite look like it. Looks like he has relatively free air, and Silverman hopefully will let him through. This battle that continues on between Chandler Williams and Quinn Smith is going to be something that is going to be music to Wilson Fernandez's ear, and these guys continue to stay on track, seemingly decided that they're going to go in for the long haul. I would assume that they're full fueled and deciding not to take any tires. Quinn Smith dropped back just a little bit. And we might have to wait quite some time before we see how this plays out. Stofko in 5th, Williams in 6th, Smith in 7th, Galbinski in the background in 8th. And effectively, that was a position that was held by Wilson Fernandez. Now having pitted, Wilson is for sure going to be looking for track position. And actually, Wilson is going to be in a battle of his own, as the position up ahead of Silverman is for actual track position. They have both pitted. Easton in 12th position is farther ahead. So P1 of the pitted cars, and he might be in the pits actually. I'm not quite sure, of the 121. We look out onto the field. Oh no! What happened? Silverman! What happened there? Was it a self-inflicted error? As I believe that's Houston that's coming out of the pits there in the Lamborghini. Silverman going wide. Oh, gets the curb. Oh my goodness. The exit of barbecue getting Silverman rotated far too much into the wall. That is really unfortunate, as Renato Dornelas executes the pit and comes out in P8, still with the fast lap of the race. That is super unfortunate for Silverman there. Hey Steven, Byron in the 24 hours of Hendrick MS has won the Daytona 500. Hendrick winning the Daytona 500. My goodness, Quinn Smith still applying loads of pressure on Chandler Williams. Chandler getting a poor exit. Truly a cup, but again, the power of the Mustang, you can just see that. You can see it pull away, even though Quinn seemed to have the better exits. Quinn, huge send, misses his braking point. Fortunately, Chandler, I literally read it word for word. How did I butcher it? Hey Tyler. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. How are your extracurricular activities doing? With quite a bit of battling going on, as the F&M director here supporting in the 24. Okay, yeah, sorry, in the number 24. You're right, I did say 24 hours. Byron in the 24 of Hendrick Motorsports has won the Daytona 500. Gotcha. I apologize. Congratulations to Byron and Hendrick Motorsports. Not enough trophies in the cabinet. Oh no. I'm kidding, Tyler. Yeah, it'd be awesome to have you back. Get another Fear Nothing Moto car on the grid. Ramato doing a pretty good job right now in the Bentley. P2 effectively, well, actually P3 behind Inarte. And I really am curious to see what happens between Quinn Smith, Chandler Williams, and Wilson Fernandez, as Fernandez was just behind Quinn Smith and Chandler Williams before the pits. Fernandez decided to hop into the pits earlier, undercut these two, I believe probably take tires, but I would expect that Smith and Williams are on the different strategy of going all the way through and then not taking tires towards the end. So we're really going to see Fernandez charge through, either gaining advantage, just being out on the track and getting just that distance benefit versus these two constantly battling. And I am gonna have to check something real quick here, folks. Apologize. But yeah, again, incredible battle happening between these drivers. Most spread apart. Oh, Smith making an error there, giving Galbinski an opportunity. I actually missed that. I want to go back and see. Oh, looks like he got cheated. And Galbinski taking advantage. That is most certainly going to be an opportunity for Wilson Fernandez. You hear the syncing up of the two Aston Martins there in their rev range. I apologize, my voice is completely fried today. And as if that wasn't enough, stream giving us difficulties, connection giving us difficulties. Quinn Smith dropping another position, having made a mistake at the Cheetah curve. The Cheetah corner, I should say. Looks like we have clear distinction between strategies with Dinarte, Formato, Portis, Stofko, Williams, Galbinski, Smith, Artem, Kelly. Looking for the long run strategy, probably going full fuel, no tires. And just splash and dash at the end with Dornelas, Fernandez, Eiston, Clifford, Alfonso, Davis, Freeman, Silverin, Lloyd, all going for the halfway fuel and tire strategy. "30 minutes left in the race. Quinn Smith, the raciest of them all. Challenging left, challenging right, making a mistake, falling behind Galbinski here. And Eduardo, no stranger to pressure. And this might be an advantage for Quinn Smith, considering that they're on equal equipment. But lots of fighting having had in the past 20, 30 laps. And that must have chewed through quite a bit of Quinn's tires. So does he have enough? Does he have enough in the reserves and the tire tank to be able to make a move on Eduardo Galbinski? Another battle shaping up here between Jonathan Clifford and Justine Ice Tin. Clifford quite a bit higher in the qualifying order, but both having pretty similar fastest laps, to be honest. Only a tenth between the two, so it isn't quite a gimme for Mr. Clifford here. Down in 13th spot. Not true position considering that there are a bunch of cars who haven't pit yet. Smith going side by side into T1 here now. Galbinski doing a good job of defending. Quinn trying every possible thing he can. Going to be kicking himself for making the error at Cheetah and giving that position away. Fortunately for him, he survives to tell the tale, but that is a position lost, and I would really be surprised if that isn't a position from Wilson Fernandez gain on the strategy. Again, I think that Fernandez made an absolutely phenomenal call in ducking behind and changing the, I don't know if that was his original strategy, but here he is in another battle between Kelly. Kelly not having pit yet. Wilson's going to look to get past as quickly as he possibly can. Oh my goodness. Look who it is. It is the NWSR folks with a big rate of 12 people. Welcome, New World. Hope you all are doing well. And while you're here, why don't we hop onto the likes of Quinn Smith and show... That's too far. Those that can't see, New World Sim Racing logo on the hood of Quinn Smith's car. The red logo up there. Again, friends of Trackalicious, hope you guys had a phenomenal race tonight. New World also races on Sundays. Where were you guys tonight? How are you doing? We have quite a battle going on here. Red Bull Ring in the wet. That is quite the combination. How's it going, Chris? We have an immense group of battles going on here. Who ended up winning, Chris? And where did you place yourself? Quinn Smith looking for any opportunity that he can. Aston Martin to Aston Martin. A Honda driver? That must be gosh, what's his name? I think I know who that is. I don't remember. Oh, you were streaming it? Okay. I wasn't sure. I got relegated to streaming today as well, so we are both doing the thing. These two drivers continuing to battle in a manner in which I would not be capable to do. Oh, okay. It wasn't Rados then. We were going so well. Yeah. Been dealing with this all stream, Chris, unfortunately. I wish I knew, Steven. I am in touch with the server guy. Actively messaging him as it happens. Good that we've hopped on to the right person as Clifford is challenging Houston here up ahead. What's up, Mike? It is only me. It is only me. However, yeah, I don't know. I've already reset my network halfway through the stream, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. First time chatter. Mike, you've never chatted in here before? What are you doing? Go do some push-ups. For those of you who don't know, this Dad's Bad, aka Mike Pico, in our iRacing Championship. For those of you who follow him, and if you do follow him, every follow he gets, he does one push-up. Every raid that he gets, so depending on the number of people, he does one push-up per person that he gets raided with. And I think every sub is 10 push-ups, and he's racked up. I don't know. You know, Mike, you should count what the total number of push-ups you've done is, but I know he's in deficit right now, and he owes over 300 push-ups, so go give him a follow. Go make him do some push-ups. Yeah. Goodness. 375. That's incredible. More push-ups than I've ever done in my life. As we continue to watch the battle here between Houston now actually for position for Anthony Kelly up ahead. Kelly, though, has not pitted yet. Soon to not be 300 pounds. I don't know if you know this, Mike, but they say weight is not lost in the gym, it's lost in the kitchen. All eating habit based. But I loves me my food, so. Ooh, great move by Clifford, looking on the outside, maximizing full track, and does manage to secure that spot. Now looking ahead at Anthony Kelly. Maybe that's why you're doing it, boss lady. Maybe you're just making some of the food that doesn't taste well, doesn't taste great, so I eat less. I see what you're doing. You're real smart. It's deliberate. I got you. As if it's not bad enough that I've lost my voice and I'm having network issues and my game keeps disconnecting. Now I have the boss lady in chat giving me crap about not eating her food. Oh, goodness. Help me out, guys. Get me out of the situation before she comes down. Mike, don't give her ideas. Mike, go do some push-ups. I thought we agreed that you were gonna go do some push-ups. That's Clifford here looking on the inside of Kelly. Kelly makes it easy. Clifford up into 12th position, and I'm sure looking to gain some more as the pitters have not completed their pits yet. Stavko now into the pits. This is what we're waiting to see. Is Stavko going to end up coming out behind or ahead of Wilson Fernandez? Let's go and have a look. Wilson Fernandez, how much did he optimize that stint that he had? He's pretty far behind, to be honest with you. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Why? They were so close. Stavko already rolling out. My goodness, something must have happened to Wilson Fernandez to be so far behind. As if it's not enough that my real life friends get ideas with my wife, evil ideas, mean ideas. Now my online friends are giving my wife bad ideas. My goodness, that is a huge gap between Stavko and Fernandez. Teamwork makes the dream. Whose dream are you working on? That's not my dream. That's your dream. Whose dream are we talking about? Dornella's now having caught up to some of the non-pitters, hoping for an easy way through. And no issues at that. Galbinski. Another Brazilian. And I'm sure Dornell is looking for a sensible let by, hopefully. A full lap ahead at that. That is incredible. No, that's interesting. Why was there a blue flag being shown? They are not lap different. I think it was for the other car, the other McLaren, whoever that is in the middle there. I think that's Anthony Kelly. Yeah, that is. That's where the blue flags come from. I was a bit confused. But Kelly deciding to be reasonable, let the boys through. And Darnellas for position technically, but not actually. And what I'm curious to see is the pace difference between Wilson Fernandez and Jakob Stavko. Fernandez pulling a 41.5 to Stavko's 47.5, and that must have been just a slow lap with overtakes. But with Wilson Fernandez having fresher tire at Stavko running on oldies and light fuel, both probably on equal fuel at this point in time, but we are interested to see Stavko's lap now coming through. Jakob on the full fuel, and then splash and dash strategy. Last lap coming through at a couple corners left, and we will see that come through. Someone else in the pits, the 84, which is Portis. Again, going for the long run. Portis coming out behind Dornella is ahead of Stavko. Stavko running a 42.7. Now that is can't see the pit lane time, unfortunately, because of the disconnect. But that is a 42.7 for Stavko. And what is that going to be for Wilson Fernandez? I don't think that's enough. I don't think. So Wilson Fernandez, 1 second faster. And that is going to mean that Wilson probably has about 7 or 8 seconds advantage through the rest of the race, which isn't enough to close up what seems to be a 30-ish second gap between them two. So it looks like Stavko's strategy playing out to be the winner. Now, oh goodness, another incident here for Quinn Smith. Is it again a cheetah? Fastest lap right now recorded looks like is a 40.6 by Renato Dornelles, who's effectively P1. We'll go back and look at that in a second, but let's have a look and see what happened to Quinn Smith. Quinn Smith, having had an off earlier, looks like in the same corner again, nailing Cheetah for some reason, not in sync with what's going on there, decides to pit. And where is that going to leave him to Wilson Fernandez? Quinn Smith seems to be rolling again. Jakob is fast. Let's get back. Only a little bit left, please. Let us survive.
Green line, give it all you got.
Sorry, folks. Yeah, Dornella's with the fastest lap of a 40.6. Still in P1. 19-second gap to Portis. Dinarte, Formato, and Williams will be looking at their pits soon. And those folks... Oh, yeah. That's my alt account. That's the one I let people borrow and just mess around with. And I don't care about safety rating. Not that doesn't mean that I drive recklessly. I just don't care what it says, so. Looks like you've seen challenging Matt Artem. Artem hasn't pitted yet. Again, some folks here. Thiago Dinarte. It is. Formato, Williams, all trying to extend as much as possible, drain their tanks, and I think their strategy is the correct strategy. It looks like those who have gone the long strategy have come out on top. Portis, similar strategy, maybe a more fuel-hungry Honda here. But soon everything will play out as we only have 12 minutes left in the race. And as Houston chases down Matt Artem, technically for position. Oh, looks like Artem has pitted and releases Houston to the P10 spot. Oh, come on. 12 minutes, please. Please, just let me finish this. We will persevere, folks.
Green line, go, go, go.
Fortunately, we've kind of gotten fast at resetting it, so. On board with Jonathan Clifford. Clifford up into P9 here today. And looks like we did have somebody pit. Dinarte. Dinarte does pit and comes out quite a bit behind the number 3 of Dornella's. Yeah, so there's 14-second gap. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 14-second gap between himself and Dornella. So Dornella is still maintaining solid gap. It looks like that's Chandler Williams. No, I'm sorry. That is Dinarte being challenged by the lapped car. I would guess is Anthony Kelly. Yep. I don't think it's a spectator cam, which I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe it is. I don't know. Either way, it's annoying as heck. Stavko chasing down Galbinski. Now Galbinski had quite a good strategy, actually. Stavko just pitted earlier. I'm not sure if he took tires or not, but Galbinski was behind before the pit stop. It was Stavko, Chandler Williams, Stavko, Chandler Williams, Quinn Smith, then Wilson Fernandez, and looks like Galbinski, and then Galbinski. And Galbinski seems to have come up top, and Galbinski swapped with Quinn Smith when Quinn made his first mistake. Quinn dropping down, unfortunately, seems to have left the server after his second interaction with the Cheetah Curb, I should say, and that is Galbinski with an optimal strategy. Williams really maximizing that pit strategy way ahead of Galbinski and Stavko there. Wilson Fernandez, unfortunately, that halfway strategy not playing out. A huge deficit. There must have been something that happened, because I don't think that tire change, even with the tire change, he should be that far behind. So interesting how that played out for Wilson Fernandez. And while he does have quite a bit of pace right now, with the guys up ahead doing 42s and some 46s, which I think are outlap numbers, it isn't quite enough to make up the gap in the 8 minutes that's remaining in the race. Thanks, Mike. Needed that. Well, there we have it, folks. Grid kind of playing out. The only person we're waiting to see how it shapes up for the race is Fermato. Fermato having extended 42 laps without a pit, should be coming in any time now in an alt livery, fear nothing moto Bentley here. Eduardo trying to look ahead, trying to catch up to Chandler Williams. Chandler Williams having had quite a bit of battling happening at the start of the race, all the way through. A lot of pressure from Quint Smith, then pressure from Wilson Fernandez, then pressure from the likes of Stavko. Stavko having had that position, 5th place before the pits, now has dropped down to 7th. And while Jakob Stavko does have incredible pace, he is amongst a grid of a whole bunch of people with incredible pace, finding himself in 7th position, challenging Eduardo Galbinski, the 233 Aston Martin up ahead for P6, and we'll be trying to look at the P5 of Williams as well, as these two continue to rein each other in. It's gonna play out to be quite a exciting end to the race, I think. And while we're at it, let's look at the rest of the grid. Looks like Dornella is still commanding. Denarte, P2 effectively. Portis, P3, depending on where Fermato ends up. Fermato now in the pits. And that is gonna be interesting how it plays out. Is he gonna be ahead of Kenneth Portis? Portis qualifying 4th. Looks like Denarte. No, Fermato is rolling out. That is a position to Denarte for sure. No, Fermato comes ahead. Does he? No, that's the timing chart updating. Denarte up ahead. Fermato in P3, as he has Denarte just up ahead in his sights, and Portis a couple of seconds behind there. So good pit stop from Fermato, back into the podium spot. Portis in P4, and the battle here between Williams, Galbinski, and Stavko now shaping up with only 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the race. I do think there's going to be some fireworks at the end of the race here, ladies and gentlemen. A full 80 minutes, 75 minutes has gone through of this 80-minute race, and there is still some racing to be had here at Kyalami as they go through the second sector here, going up the hill, up into Leo Cup through the S's. Denarte looking to optimize his braking spot. Galbinski constantly chopping away at the delta. And just in the background, looming in the background, the 296 of Jakob Stavko, threatening the gang. Galbinski again getting closer and closer and closer. Eduardo, patience, but we all know, we saw it happen before. Quinn Smith had the Aston Martin, had a bit of pace in hand, it seemed, but just not quite enough to overtake that Mustang. The Mustang showing incredible power on the straights. Is there anything that Galbinski can do? Closing down the gap. Eduardo Galbinski, the gap eradicator, looking for the position now. He has gotten super close. He's gotten within striking range. Chandler going defensive into sunset here. Galbinski sending it on the outside and does make it stick. Goes a little wide. Now Chandler looking for an opportunity himself. Not quite there. And who is in the background but Jakob Stavko coming in the Ferrari. Galbinski is now going to look to maximize the lines and find the most efficient way to walk away from this pack. Try to get out of the threat of Chandler Williams, and not just Chandler Williams, but the threat of Jakob Stavko, who is right there in the background. Williams, now the charts being updated. Right behind Galbinski. Strong straight line speed, still within firing distance. Galbinski trying to find anything that he can, any bit of road to walk away, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. Williams is going to be looking for any opportunity, looking for anything that he could do to pressurize Galbinski into an error, as Stavko now looming in the background. Stavko coming in with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the race. Williams' straight line speed really playing to his advantage, closing down the gap. Not quite enough. Galbinski still up ahead. Williams threatening, still within a second of Galbinski, and Stavko continually smelling blood in the water, hoping for a battle, was really hoping for more of a challenge between Galbinski and Williams, but did not quite get what he wanted. Probably 2 more laps left in the race here. Williams still chasing down for that P5 position he once held. And while the contenders have gone down as it was before, Galbinski, Williams, Stavko, Fernandez, and Quinn Smith. Fernandez not quite in it anymore, but Williams, Galbinski, and Stavko still looking for that P5 spot. Not necessarily wins you anything, but there's something about that number 5. There's something about it that you gotta fight for. It's not a podium spot, but being able to say that top 5 is definitely tickles the soul. Right now, that position owned by Eduardo Galbinski in the 233 Aston Martin, threatened by Chandler Williams, and looming in the background is Jakob Stavko. Stavko still not quite finding much to close the gap, but Williams, I'm sure, going to be regretting the mistake that was made earlier, hunting down Galbinski. The advantage being up front. No, they're not. The GTR and Lexus, the big advantages that they have, Mike, are straight line speed, but overall they're not that superior. Kind of still slower, unless they're in the hands of goodness, I don't know why I'm having a spaced brain. But the championship leader is in a Nissan. Jade Hutchinson, that's who it is. Jade is driving the Nissan. And these guys continuing. And looks like this is going to be the final lap of the race, as Renato Dornelas crosses the finish line. Dinarte just behind Formato for P3, Portis for P4. But who is going to get that P5 spot? Lots of pressure here. Is Galbinski going to be able to nail the final couple corners? Cheetah, we've seen, has taken Quinn Smith out of that P5 contention. Galbinski manages to nail that corner. Lots of pressure still from Williams. but not quite enough. And that is a fantastic P5 for Galbinski, P6 for Stavko, and P6 for Williams, P7 for Stavko. And that is a great bit of racing. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Internet. Thank you. Absolutely. Hugely appreciative of that. And we got Clifford coming in P9. TV's Alex, welcome. Yeah, Galbinski for that P5 spot. Really, really great race for Galbinski. Eduardo managed to nail the strategy. Started behind. I think he was P8 to start, but executed a fantastic strategy. Top 10, closing out by Houston. Hunter Davison P11, and Andre Alex Afonso for P12. Let's see if we can get these guys in the stream here. Hello, everybody. Really glad that that's over from a having issues perspective, but what a fantastic battle. What a fantastic fight for that P5 spot. So much contention. And let's see if we could get any of these guys into the chat. Let's get Dornelas. Ramado. And Tiago. Sorry, give me 1 second, folks, as I try to get you guys an interview. Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, Buckley, we do have some shorter races that run some 50 minutes on Mondays that are the GT4s, and 60 minutes for the Wednesday late night series, the West Coast series. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate having you and everybody there. And we do have Michael Fermato here in chat with us. Michael, what a fantastic race for you. P3 overall.
Thanks. Yeah, got a little bit lucky. I'm pretty sure I set a record for how many times you could hit the sausage curb at Cheetah and still finish on the podium. So was a lot of luck involved with that one. But yeah, I'm happy with how it ended.
That's impressive. How many times did you hit the Cheetah curb?
I counted 4, and without spinning, just going into the gravel. But yeah, I counted 4, and one time I sort of just drove in there, so it was not my best corner. It's been a while since I've driven Kilami at night, and the dust that gets kicked up was causing some problems, especially there when I was like pretty close behind towards the beginning. As we separated a little bit, it got a little bit better, but still tricky corner, even worse at night.
So Michael, you've piqued my curiosity. I know that you're a Canadian. You could be as vague as you like, but where in Canada you're from? You could go east, west, or give us a city.
Montreal, actually, pretty much in Quebec.
Oh, okay, very cool. Been to Montreal before. An awesome city. Love old Montreal. Obviously, as a tourist, hang out there quite a bit. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. A lot of amazing things to do, and I mean, in the summertime we have the Grand Prix, so it's it's there's always excitement going around in the city, no matter what time of year. There's always festivals. There's always something going on. So yeah, I mean, you've been there, which is great, and I recommend anyone else, whoever wants to visit Montreal one day, or just like Quebec in general. And in general, the province is beautiful. So maybe not today. We have about 40 centimeters of snow today, and probably into tomorrow as well. But any other day other than today is fine.
Yeah, quite a bit of snow, and I think I don't exactly remember the year, but fun fact, I've been to the longest Formula One Grand Prix that there ever was in history, which was in Montreal. And I think it was 2014, where Jenson Button practically came from
Yes.
all the way in the back and won the race. It was an incredible race to be
Yes.
at.
It's one of my favorites as well. I've been to the Grand Prix a few times, but I haven't been to that one specifically. I watched that one on TV. But yeah, it was, with all the rain delays and all that stuff. I was just popping in every once in a while, just see what was going on, and saw the ending with Jenson Button with Vettel going wide
Yeah.
and all
Last
that. So
lap
yeah,
overtake. Yeah.
yeah, you saw one of the greatest modern F1 races of all time for sure, which is great.
That's the race my friends and I started calling Jenson Button the Juggernaut, because he seemed to have like elbowed his way through everybody. So it was kind of incredible to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was just an incredible performance for sure from him.
Well, Michael, congratulations on your P3 up into the podium, representing Fear Nothing Moto, the
Yeah.
director, the leader, the fearless leader, Tyler Carr in the chat earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
He watches all the races, I believe, just to see how we're doing, and we tried to get him to join this time, but scheduling and things like that. Life comes first, so he's just on the sidelines, sort of just peeking in. But maybe next time round, so next series, whenever that will be, we'll be jumping in with maybe a few surprises in store with me, him, and all that stuff going on. But yeah.
or
Thank you for
really?
Tyler. Shout out to him. And yeah, and for the whole Fear Nothing Moto team. I mean, we were a few men down today for a couple of different reasons, but I mean, Anthony Kelly was there. He had a nice race as well. And yeah, a big shout out to Fear Nothing Moto and to you guys. I mean, one of my favorite things is the next day watching the streams. So keep up the great work.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, we had a lot of technical issues, but we tried to persevere to get the final bits of the race. So thank
Oh, I
you,
see.
Michael. Good job. Congratulations on your podium spot. And yeah, representation of Fear Nothing pretty much throughout the entire grid, a whole bunch of cars on there. So congratulations to Fear Nothing on the podium spot. Now, with that being said, while the third step on the podium is an incredibly congratulatory one, the top step is one that everybody looks for, and that is dominated by Renato Dornelas. Renato, congratulations. Back up top for Vacuum Racing. How was that race for you?
The race was pretty clean because my strategy was different than the other guys, so I had a clean first stint. No back markers till my first pit stop, so it was pretty hot lapping. And after my pit stop, I again had a clean track till I get to an Aston, and I already knew that my gap to first place was like 23 seconds, I guess. So I was safe in the first place if I just keep behind. So the strategy was fine, and pace was good. I think the main thing for my victory was qualifying. That was more close. So
Yeah, you were 500ths of a second faster than Thiago Narte, your fellow countryman. We did catch a bit of the qualifying, or a lot of the qualifying, so we were very excited to see that super marginal battle for first place that you and Thiago were fighting for. So incredible job, congratulations, great race, and look forward to seeing you back next week.
yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Renato. And thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys being patient through the technical difficulties we had. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. How are you doing? Unfortunately, this is the end of the stream. So thank you all for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed what was left of the technical difficulties. We do have a raid set up here, and we're going to go check out somebody who has an invalid username, apparently. Let's try this again. There we go. That worked. See you tomorrow, Mitch. Looking forward to seeing you on track. Always love watching the rookies. And yeah, hope everybody has a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in to Trackalicious. Thank you for all the support, all the subs that we had. So Shane, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Papa Mill, we really appreciate the sub as well. And see you guys tomorrow. For now, I'm Eric Lacostian from Trackalicious. We'll see you. Bye.